What did I tell you about punting the dog? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know that was a rule against that. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. I won't do it again. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me.
Stay nutty and get your geek on.
What's up, guys? BC coming back at you guys with yet another one of these fantastic little Transformers videos I tend to do. And I am so sorry for how long you had to wait on this one. It's mostly my own fault. But we are taking a look at the masterpiece MP-48 Lio Convoy, aka the greatest Transformer ever. Fight me. So here he is in line mode, and admittedly this looks absolutely ridiculous. But we're not actually going to be talking about the line mode just yet, at least not in full detail. Because if you saw the Sinanju Stein review, you know there's a brand new format as to how this goes. So, with that said, let's get started with the accessories. He comes with the Lio laser pieces, which, you know, they're just a red plastic with red paint and this gunmetal silver paint. Looks fantastic. He comes with 4 missiles. I'm not sure really why one doesn't have nearly as much regular gray paint, whereas the other is like loaded with it. I don't understand. I don't get the reference. I'm pretty sure somebody with a little bit more knowledge on this would be able to let me know. But other than that, there you go. There's the 4 missiles. And for those of us who really do appreciate that extra form of storage, he comes with a holder. Dumb name, but a really useful accessory. Lastly, what we're going to be talking about is the Cybertron Buster. This thing is cool. I don't have him posed with this because ultimately I don't like this in his hand. But it is an awesome looking gun, all things considered. And, you know, it's got the gray paint, I want to say mustard-ish looking color. I don't know. I don't know what the color is, but as you can see, painted beautifully. Gimmicks-wise in line mode, you can flip this entire main bit forward to be able to activate the attack mode. The cannon nozzles would fit in there. It's dumb. It's really dumb. But, you know, whatever. He's also got the Lio claws, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Practically useless in this mode, but still cool nonetheless. And he has those, which that's where these would come into play. They literally just fit in there. They don't fire, but they do fit. So there we go. That's all said and done. Articulation wise, he's kind of limited in line mode. He's got a admittedly very impressive side to side movement in the head. He's got kind of a bit of a confused cat look. He can look up and he can look down. That's basically the bulk of his articulation in the line mode, because most of what he's got in the legs here, a lot of it plays into the transformation, and I'd rather just talk about the articulation fully in the robot mode. Other than that though, the tail does in fact have articulation. So that about covers line mode articulation. Yeah, admittedly that was a very short section, and you could argue it didn't justify the jump cut, but I don't care, I'm using it anyway. So with that said, there really isn't much else to really get into other than transformation. Let's get into it. Coming to his rear legs, all you're really going to do, getting this out of the way, is you're just going to straighten it out in its entirety. If it'll cooperate with you. There we go. Rotate the foot. And then flip out the heel. and then rotate it right here. Do the same thing right over here on the other side. And there we go. So now, let's work on the head. Take these little side main bit pieces here and swing them back so that they can curl forward. Take this whole main piece with, if you weren't me, this is supposed to be here, but you would bring this, fold it back, and start bringing this up. Open his mouth to get this up. And there you go. Then there's all this bit. To get all this out, you're going to want to basically just move all this out and around. Bring this bit up, so to speak, unless it won't. There we go. Rotate that around. Then this whole piece on this structure, on this little mushroom peg, rotates around. And this scares me every time. But boom, once you get it done, you have that. So then, after that, you take this lion mouth piece down, or bring it down, fold this in. This will latch in to basically the lion throat. And the coolest thing, you bring the actual lion head down and it bites on and locks that in. That is going nowhere. Genius. Then you just close everything else back up. There you go. Coming to this entire lion torso unit thing, you're going to untab this. Yeah, literally that easy. Come to the side here and bring this bit out. Then again, BC should probably pay attention to what the hell he's doing, because you gotta get this undone first. Bring that down. There you go. Now the rest of this should be easy. Same on the other side, by the way. Now we should be able to just untab this and bring it up. Same thing on the other side. Come to this and just do your best to kind of get everything out of the way so you can rotate this whole piece down and around. Just like that. So it could just sit right there. Come to this little lion butt section over here. Flip this piece up. Flip this panel up. Rotate this panel in. And then you basically just do your best to close this all up upon it. Why is it that this... It's because I'm recording a video. That's exactly why. That's exactly why it doesn't want to work now. There we go. So basically, you do that, and then you push the lion tail in. And there you go for that piece. However, we still do need to be able to position it correctly. So you're going to bring this piece up and around like this. Rotate it in, and then kind of just latch it in right here. We'll keep it out of the way for the time being. Now let's get his shoulders into place. So we're going to bring this piece up and around, tab it in like this, and then this whole piece just rotates up, and the whole piece just sits in there. Same on the other side. Now come into the most fragile part of this entire figure. You're going to untab this piece right here, kind of straighten it back down, and then open up these two chest flap pieces. And I've had this abdomen section, it's on literally 2 clips that allow these to flip forward. These are fragile. They're already stressing on mine, so do be careful here. But once you're done doing that, this is a lot easier. Bring this piece up, bring this piece up, rotate it around, bring it back down, flip that up, and that's how you get his head into place. Take these side pieces, bring them out, and then swing them up. That harder to do when you have a camera in front of you, but You literally just take both pieces. Same on the other side. Accordion this all up in there. Rotate the torso unit, or the chest unit in this case. Bring it all in, tab it all together, and this will all lock into place, which I quite enjoy. Work that ab crunch. Take his arm, close his panel, swing it all down and around, and straighten his hand out. Same thing on the other side. Take this piece, rotate it around, and then curl it up like this. I promise you, that's about all you can do. Same thing on the other side. Get his shoulder pads properly into position by rotating all this around and then closing all that up. And then this happens constantly on mine. All right. And there we go. I'll get him looking nice and pretty, and then we'll start talking about the robot mode. There is the admittedly absolutely gorgeous robot mode. This looks fantastic. In case it wasn't already obvious, we're talking about the overall aesthetics now. Aesthetically, I love this. This looks fantastic. I will continue to say that. The paint, while a bit sensitive, looks absolutely amazing on this figure. My biggest downside with it, it chips extremely easily. You can see it right there on the blue. There's some red showing from the plastic. That's annoying. That is really annoying, but it can't be avoided. So, not much I can really do about that, unfortunately. Still really awesome looking, though. Yeah. Overall, I really do love this guy. So, there we go. And let's go into some comparisons. Size comparison-wise, MP Sideswipe, MP Ratchet, MP Shockwave, and the comparison I'm pretty sure everybody would have bitched at me if I didn't do, Primal. Gimmicks-wise, a lot of what he had in the Lion mode definitely carries over here. He does have the Lio Claw, which while still doesn't quite work out the way you would hope, in robot mode, this does look a lot better. This looks a lot better. Now, he does have arm-mounted missile launchers. The original toy had this as well, but here's the thing. On this, you can either do this, which is admittedly, like, that's a bit long for me, but either way, if they would have left it like this, I would have been totally cool with it. I would not have, like, obviously I would have had my gripes with it, but I would have lived with it ultimately. But it's like Takara knew. Because this actually slides out and then rotates. I don't know if this was intentional, but both arms do it. So guess what? I'm counting it. You can actually have him do something a lot like not Lio. Wow, BC. You can actually have him do something like Primal, where he has the arm-mounted blasters. This is really cool. So, yeah. We're going to count that towards the gimmicks. If I can't get this undone. There we go. There we go. Now, the other... stay standing. Now, the biggest gimmick is right here with that lion head. The lion head mains all open back up. And this whole assembly can twist to initiate Lio Typhoon. I love it! And I'm pretty sure that people were hoping I was going to cover this. Well, I am. This piece does open up to reveal a little cannon nozzle. And this is indeed where these will go. Actually, no, that's not thinking about it. Can you fit the missile in that? No, you can't. So, there we go. These flip open. Just hit my lighting. To get this in there, and then they do indeed, if you're not using them, just stow away in these panels. Pretty much right where they will basically stay for the remainder of his life. He can indeed hold the Cybertron Buster, very typical Masterpiece style. Palm in the hand, or peg in the hand. There you go. And he holds it like a pro. The last of the gimmicks are actually on him permanently. This chest bit does indeed open up to reveal the quote-unquote Energon Matrix. Pretty awesome, and if you look in here, he does in fact have a maximal symbol. Pretty awesome. But his final gimmick is admittedly one that's kind of looked over, not because it's stupid, but because a lot of people don't really notice it. This opens up to reveal a leg nozzle. And the leg nozzle, yep, the leg nozzle does indeed articulate out. This is to basically allow him to do a lot of his leaping poses, which we will show off here in a moment. Articulation-wise, I think he's pretty damn awesome, so let's go over it. And with the typical BC fashion, from the head down to the feet. Head is on a ball joint, which gets all sorts of wiggle, waggle, wiggle, waggle. Pretty awesome, if you ask me. Shoulder pads, literally can just get out of the way as much as you need. The shoulder joint proper, getting this out of the way, goes forward and back. No problem whatsoever. Obviously, when with this thing here, it doesn't quite go back. Oh, alright. Well, color me corrected then. Outward movement on a pretty stiff ratchet. Pretty good. Bicep swivel. Ratcheted double jointed elbow. Gets about up to there in the curl. Pretty good if you ask me. Wrists rotate. Hands open, as you clearly already saw. With a single joint here for the one finger, and the other three fingers are all fused together. And a separate moving thumb. So, there we go. Say what you will about that, but I think it's pretty good. He gets a decent ratcheted waist swivel and a ratcheted ab crunch. Thighs are kind of weird, and hips, because he's got one swivel up here, but he's got another one at the base of the neck. Wow, neck. Really? Really? Base of the knee. Hips go out to there. Go forward like that. Don't really go back. I say the articulation for the hips are pretty good, but like this is so tight that you end up moving this instead, and since you need this for transformation, it's kind of annoying. Coming down to the knees, we have a double jointed knee, which he can basically kick himself right in the ass, which is pretty awesome if you ask me. The actual feet themselves have a separate rotating bit right here. Due to the transformation, they do ratchet right here, and the lion toes do rotate to kind of simulate the ankle tilt, and they do pivot forward and back, and I guess you can twiddle the heel. I guess. So anyways, let's get him into a pose and onto the turntable, and we'll see how he looks. And there we go. And he's hitting the wall. Yeah, well, that didn't quite go nearly as well as I was hoping. But there you go. He's gonna hit it again, isn't he? Nope, he barely cleared it right there. But, yeah. This gets the point across. He can hold a pose, and he can go around the entire table, provided you don't have something in the back blocking the rest of your way. There you go. I consider this a pass in the stability department. Alright guys, you know how this goes. The pros and the cons. Does this get the BC seal of approval? Let's find out. Cons wise, some of his articulation does feel a little limited. I will not lie. I definitely wish that there was a bit more in the torso area, like maybe a teapot joint somewhere in there. But the fact that he has an ab crunch, I'm willing to forgive that. I wish there was a little bit more with the ankles. But again, that kind of falls on the whole idea of he does not, like, just due to the nature of the design, he really can't get any more out of his ankles other than how it transforms. The lion mode is goofy. I can't think of anything to excuse the lion mode, other than the fact that this is a figure that transforms from lion to robot with cartoon accurate aesthetics. One mode has to get sacrificed in this case to pull off both. And I do feel the smarter decision here was to sacrifice the lion mode. But even then, I'm still unsure what my other real cons are. The biggest real con that I'm going to slam on this, that is, in my opinion, unforgivable, is the paint chipping. The paint chipping is an issue on this. Especially for somebody like me who loves to flip his figures back and forth, the paint is wearing off. And it bugs me to no end. However, he will be going on my shelf permanently in robot mode. So, I won't have to worry about it. And I guess the other real con that I have to mention, again, these ab section clips right here that allow them to curl up for lion mode. Those are super fragile. Be careful with those. Because I'm a dunce. Let's get this fixed up. There we go, there we go. Yeah, there's your BC screw up for the video. But anyways, let's be real, guys. This figure is nothing short of amazing. The articulation is awesome. Again, with a few of the exceptions, mainly the ankles, he articulates like a champ. His overall aesthetics going straight for the cartoon, especially in robot mode, he pulls it off perfectly. The paint, everywhere where it's used, so long as it's not chipped, looks amazing. He can hold his weapons like a champ. He can hold a pose like a champ. He can have a dynamic look on the shelf that has him standing above the others in a way you simply cannot do with most other figures, especially within this pocket. And to top it off, in my personal opinion, he is, without a doubt, in my personal opinion, and that's me openly admitting that I am a bit biased here, I don't have Beast Wars Megatron, but I do feel that of the Beast Wars MPs, this is hands down the best one of the bunch. They pulled out all the stops with him. The only other thing I can really say I wish was here was I wish there was a little bit more diecast, because he does feel a little light. But I'm willing to forgive that, because where this figure excels is what I bought it for. And that is looking amazing on a shelf and articulating like a champ. So does he get the BC seal of approval? Absolutely he does. I highly recommend you guys get this figure, especially if you're a Beast Wars fan, or if you're a Beast Wars 2 fan, or if you just love this character as a whole. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want this. He's a definite recommend from me, and overall, just a fantastic figure. So with that said, guys, I've taken up enough of your time. This is BC saying stay nerdy, get your geek on. I'll talk to you guys later.